Oh, the Democratic losses this week were no big surprise. Before we get into how and where they went wrong, keep in mind that the Democrats could have done everything right and still sustain losses this week. Because historically, when we've elected a new president, we've consistently seen his party lose ground in the next round of elections. It's like a pendulum that swings back and forth between the parties. We saw it certainly with Reagan, we saw it with Clinton, we saw it with Obama, certainly with the Tea Party, and we also saw it with President Trump. And that's kind of, I didn't know we had that little tool, that feature. Anyway, while Democratic losses can be expected, it's the scope of the swings and the exit polling that suggests they're heading for a wipeout in the midterms if they don't fix a couple of big problems, and they start at the top.
You know who's going to help us? Joe Biden!
Lesson 1. If you're a Democrat trying to hold or win a seat in Congress next year, President Joe Biden, at least at this point, will not help you. And lesson 2, the world of politics no longer revolves around Donald Trump.
I ran against Donald Trump, and so is Terry.
Yeah, Terry McAuliffe's strategy in Virginia revolved around the premise that his opponent, Glenn Youngkin, was just like Trump.
He's running for Donald Trump!
Which backfired.
Trump-Youngkin-style Republicans.
Because Youngkin kept Trump at arm's length.
Why is it that Glenn Youngkin and Donald Trump are so close?
So saying he's just like Trump just didn't stick.
The guy Terry's running against is an accolade of Donald Trump for real.
And besides that, Trump already lost.
Turning on the television every day and seeing a replay what happened on January 6th?
No, that is definitely not what voters are seeing every day. They are seeing this. Which brings us to lesson 3. If you're a Democrat who thinks voters are still focused on this, just remember the old axiom from James Carville, that it's the economy, stupid. Democrats like McAuliffe tried to focus the race on the former president, while the current president is tanking in the polls for 4 different reasons. 1, he declared freedom from the virus just before the Delta wave struck. Then 2, he led the deadly and chaotic exit from Afghanistan. 3, prices shot up and store shelves emptied. That's the big one. And 4, much of Biden's agenda still has not passed through a Congress which his own party controls because Democrats seem to want one thing while Democrats seem to want another.
Can't look like you're in disarray, and that's how this looks.
And while the individual components of their plans are popular, they're failing to explain what those components are.
We have to build back and build back better. It's amazing how that phrase has caught on around the world, isn't it?
No, polling shows it has not caught on because most people do not know what build back better is even supposed to mean.
Building back better means investing and also in our human infrastructure.
They don't know what that means either. Human infrastructure. Who talks like that? Well, Republicans say woke liberals talk like that.
That's human infrastructure.
And that's the narrative they're using very much to their advantage right now. And on that note, Glenn Youngkin focused on opposing critical race theory as well in Virginia schools, and that certainly worked. Democrats largely ignored that line of attack, thought it wouldn't work, that it would not resonate with voters because K-12 schools in Virginia don't even teach critical race theory. But they didn't realize critical race theories become a catchphrase for a broader range of concerns that parents have about schools, which includes how they teach issues of race in general and goes beyond that to how they handle issues of gender identity and sexual expression in schools.
We watched parents so upset because there was such sexually explicit material in the library.
And McAuliffe committed a terrible gaffe in how he tried to respond to that.
I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach.
That one line played out over and over again in Youngkin's ads.
I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach. I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach.
I'm Glenn Youngkin, candidate for governor.
And if Democrats hope to avoid the same kind of wipeout they had in 2010 during the Tea Party wave, they better repeat that same line to themselves over and over again.
I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach. I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach.
As a big reminder of what not to do when they run for re-election.